Hi, Michael from Doing Life Together. Hope you are doing well, particularly in this crazy season. And first and foremost, it's really important that we recognize and we acknowledge that this season is a little crazy. It's not the normal, it's not the usual. Things are different. Some things feel the same, some things feel completely and utterly different. Some things feel okay, some things feel awkward, uncomfortable and unsure. And that's okay. But not only do we feel those feelings as adults, our children, the children in our care, feel them as well. And even though it's a crazy time, a time that's not quite normal, not quite usual, there are some profound and basic ways that we can continue to offer to our children to help them develop, grow, and to support their well-being. Dan Siegel talks about our children needing to feel four S's to grow and to thrive. The first one is they need to feel safe. They need to feel a sense of physical safety, like they're protected, that they're okay, that there are people looking after them physically, emotionally. They need to feel seen. That is, not just physically seen, but profoundly, deeply seen for their potential, for who they are, for what they have to offer, for the uniqueness in them, even if that uniqueness comes out in different ways during this season. Third, they need to feel a sense of being soothed. That is, they need to feel like they have a toolkit, a toolbox of strategies, of tools that they can practice to make their feelings bigger and smaller, to regulate, to navigate the day to day. They also need to feel like they have adults, safe adults in their life, who are there to coach them, to guide them, to support them through these moments every day. Finally, these three things of feeling safe, feeling seen, and feeling soothed lead to a child feeling a sense of security, or feeling secure about themselves, about their identity, who they are, where they belong, how they connect, and what their role might be in this world. Those four things of feeling safe, seen, soothed, and secure are so important in these crazy times. So important. Let's talk a little bit more about what it means to feel soothed. To do this, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, and his name is Cloud. Can you say hi, Cloud? Hi, Cloud. Cloud is a really special friend to me. He travels a lot with me all over the country as we meet schools, communities, and families. But right now, of course, Cloud is #staying home, and he's finding that a little difficult to navigate each day. It's not the norm for him. It's not something that he usually has to do. And so, just like you and I, Cloud has a whole heap of feelings that are coming to the surface as he navigates this time. Let's have a look at some of those feelings that Cloud's experiencing. We'll reach inside here. The first one is this. Cloud is feeling happy. Happy because for the first time in a long time, he's getting to spend a lot more time at home with mum, with dad, with his brothers, with his sisters, with people in his household. He's seeing them almost all day, every day. It's a happy feeling for him. It's kind of cool to be in that space. Again, he hasn't been there for a long time. And many of us as adults might be feeling happy too, as we get to see our kids in different ways that we haven't for a while as well. So Cloud is feeling happy. But Cloud is also feeling a few more feelings. Have a look at this one. What's this one, do you think? Look at that big mouth. Cloud is feeling excited. He's excited because he's getting to try a whole heap of new things during this time. Things he hasn't tried before. You know, so many of you, so many parents, educators around the country, around the world are creating Facebook groups and online Zoom meetings and all sorts of ways for our children to experience new, different and exciting things. And that's an awesome part of this season. Our children feel excited when they see someone on Zoom for the first time, when they play a game on Zoom for the first time, whatever it might be. Cloud is feeling excited because there's some different things he'd never experienced before in his life. He's excited. There are a couple of the feelings that Cloud is having that he likes to have, but Cloud is also having some feelings that he finds really hard to have. Let's have a look at a few of those. Oh, this one's a big one. This is disappointed. Cloud is feeling very disappointed at the moment because he normally travels around the place. He gets to see his friends, go over his friends' houses, have sleepovers, have play dates, go to play cafes, go to the movies, all sorts of things, the playgrounds, all these things that he can't do right now. And so he's feeling really disappointed about that. And he's not quite sure how to manage that. And some of you as adults, some of you as parents, as educators might be feeling disappointed too, because there are things we're missing out on, or things we're not able to do, or things that are just different. Disappointment is okay, and particularly in this time, it's okay to be disappointed. So Cloud's feeling disappointed. A couple more feelings that are hard to have that Cloud's feeling. Or this one many of us are feeling right now. Do you know what that feeling is? It's our sensitive feeling. Cloud is feeling a little more sensitive than normal. You may have noticed in your own children or the children in your care that when children experience ups and downs of life, they don't always put words to it straight away. But one of the sure-tell signs that it's starting to impact on them or starting to make a difference in their life is they're sensitive. Their feeling of sensitive becomes a little bit bigger and bigger and bigger. They react to things they wouldn't normally react to, or they pick up on things they normally wouldn't think about, and have a huge impact on their daily life and well-being. In fact, many of you adults are having this same feeling. You know, a lot of our ways, our tools that we normally use to keep ourselves calm or regulate, like going to the gym or meeting people for coffee, for a drink, or going to the movies, or whatever it might be, a lot of these tools we can't use right now. And so we may be a little bit more sensitive as well. The other thing is our homes, even though they might feel big or feel large, it doesn't take a lot for them to become really small really quickly. You know, we love our children, we love our families, we love the people in our lives, but when we see them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with not a lot of space in between, we can all become a little more sensitive. And that's perfectly normal at this time. So don't be hard on yourself. Don't make yourself feel bad because of it. Recognize it and start to look for ways to make it smaller. A couple of other hard to have feelings that Cloud is having right now. That sense of sensitivity often leads to a few more battles around the place, or loud conflicts or confrontations, things that Cloud doesn't normally see all the time. And sometimes when those happen, or when he's unsure about how to react to something, or he's unsure about what's going on inside of him, he starts to feel this one. This is our uncomfortable feeling. Uncomfortable becomes very big very quickly. It's a feeling that says, I'm not sure what to do, I'm not sure how to react, I'm not sure how to navigate this space. It's a perfectly okay feeling to have. And Cloud's feeling that a little bit more than he normally would at this point in time. You might be as well, and that's perfectly okay. A couple more hard to have feelings before we talk around some tips on how we might talk about feelings at this time. These two are coming out a lot more for Cloud at the moment. This one is our mad feeling. Yeah. You know, when children and adults actually have hard to have feelings, we tend to let them out as mad or sad because we perceive or we know what those look like. And they're easy to express and people take notice. But mad becomes a very big feeling very quickly, and particularly where there's extra tension, extra sensitivity, extra uncomfortableness around the place. So look for ways to make that mad a little bit smaller as it arises. The final hard to have feeling in here at the moment is this one. There's no doubt that Cloud's feeling this from time to time. Do you know what this feeling is? Yeah, this is our sad feeling. Cloud is having some tears. He is having some sad moments because this is a tough time. You as adults will have some tears. You will have some big sads because this is a tough time. It's important to recognize that and to acknowledge that it is okay. It's normal. in this unnormal season. Now, they're just a sample of the feelings that Cloud is feeling. In fact, the researchers will tell us that there's roughly around 208 feelings in our day-to-day experience as human beings. That's a lot to work through. And you and I as adults, we have tools, we have things in our toolkit that allow us to make those feelings smaller and bigger as we need to regulate, to navigate. But our little ones, our children, are still working out what that means. And they're going to need a little bit of extra coaching, extra support during this time. Thanks, Cloud. So a couple of tips that might be useful for you during this time as you talk about feelings that come to the surface. And in fact, things that might come to the surface that you haven't thought about or didn't even realize are there. First, it's useful to talk around feelings in terms of feelings we like to have or we find hard to have. There are no such things as positive and negative emotions or feelings. All feelings are okay to feel. It's what we do with them that matters. For example, mad often gets a bad rap, but fairness, justice, social justice, advocacy stems from anger. Without anger, we don't have those things. You see, every feeling's okay. It's what we do with them that matters. So talking about feelings in the sense of feelings we like to have and find hard to have can be really useful at this time. The second thing is to talk about feelings in the sense of what size is a feeling or what shape is a feeling. They can be big, small, medium size. Getting children to show you with their hands how big a feeling might be. You're doing the same to your children so they can see what you're feeling at a particular time. The idea of shapes of feelings can be really useful. You see, some feelings come in nice, smooth, round shapes, and they feel great to have inside of us. Some come in pointy, sharp shapes, and they're the ones that, press into our stomach or press into our muscles and tense us up. So the idea of shapes and sizes can be really helpful when you're talking about feelings. Finally, as you're talking about feelings, remember what we're always trying to do is practice tools that we can use in those moments to make those feelings bigger or smaller as we need to. So for MAD, for example, it might be looking at practicing some breathing techniques or breathing tools. It might be counting backwards from 10. It might be going outside for a run. It might be jumping up and down the spot really fast, amongst a range of other tools that you can see and experience across many different facets of life. It's also important to remember, like I said before, that you and I as adults, we have tools, we have things that allow us to regulate, to navigate life. But those tools, those toolkits right now are going to be pushed to their limit. So it's really important we recognize that in ourselves and we look for ways to develop a more extensive calming toolkit for ourselves. Like I said before, a lot of the things that we normally do, going to the gym, going out shopping or going and visiting friends or things like that, won't be able to happen for a little while. So it's really important that we find other ways to build that calming toolkit so we can offer our calm as much as possible to the children in our care. A final thing I want to share with you during this video today is something from Dan Siegel. Dan talks about the idea that you and I, to help a child feel soothed, can offer our sense of peace. P standing for our presence. So not just being in the room or not just being nearby, but being physically, emotionally present with our children. Second, the E stands for engagement. So not just being present, but engaging at our child's level, engaging in their experience of play, experience of the world, getting down our knees, getting dirty, getting on the floor, so to speak, engaging with our children. The A stands for affection. More than anything right now, and please prioritize this however you can. Our children need to know that we like them, that we love them. They need to know they have our deepest affection. The C stands for calm. I briefly touched on this before, but we need to find ways to, as much as possible, offer our sense of calm to our children. The calmer we can stay, the calmer we can maintain ourselves, they're going to see that and they're going to play into that. They're going to work into that. They're going to take our model and try and adapt that for their experience. But here's a really important thing when it comes to being calm. We're human beings and we're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. Give yourself an extra helping of grace and forgiveness, particularly during this unusual season. Finally, E. That is, our children need a sense of empathy from us. They need to understand that, or not just understand, but feel that we feel with them, that we understand and acknowledge and feel the same feelings they're feeling, that we experience what they're experiencing, and that we are there for them to navigate that space together. I hope these things have been helpful. We're going to develop some more videos over the coming days, and we'll be sharing them online. Feel free to share these videos, post them wherever you need to. We hope they are a help to you, a help to others, and we just hope you take care and stay safe during this time.